Hello everyone, this is Reggie with A Team Appliance, and I'm about to do the most realist video I have ever done so far. So this is for you do-it-yourselfers, going old school now, no shop, just working out of your house, trying to flip washers and dryers. So I'm gonna go through a kind of a bulk breakdown of how to fix machines in one swoop within like 3 to 4 hours. The machines we're going to do today are going to be dryers, all Whirlpool brand dryers because they're the easiest and fastest to fix. So this is the inventory I recommend you have is Whirlpool. So let's do a quick walkthrough. I have no idea if the camera even showed my face, but you know. So that's the garage. It looks chaotic through the phone, but everything, that's all parts inside there, all washer and dryer parts. So here, this is our setup. We have these 6 machines, actually 7 plus this one. Just picked them up, and I'm going to refurbish them. So we got those. I got a new GE washer in that one. I got an oven, a wash machine. We in the yard, baby. And so with GE with dryers, I recommend you can knock them out in bulk. That's what the whole video is about. But with washers, I do not recommend that, because washers, at the most I'll do 2 at a time. That's because I'm experienced. But if you do multiple washers, I would warn you, because it's a lot to miss, and washers really need your attention. Dryers are very basic and simple and haven't changed in a long time, but washers do require a lot of attention, because you can miss the smallest things like a pinhole, a puncture in a hose, or something, but dryers not so much. So let's see the tools that you need to get the job done. Also, remember to subscribe and like the video so we can see more content from me. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Tools that we'll need to knock these out in bulk: 1/4 inch nut driver and a Phillips head, and obviously a drill will make it go a lot faster. It's not a must, but this is for speed, so I would hope if you have these type of machines, you at least got a drill. Yeah, you need your shop vac and probably a screwdriver too. And I'll show you why. So let's introduce ourselves to each machine. This one's a Whirlpool, and what I'll start off doing is checking the door. And also, I'm going to line up like this for a reason, and I'll show you why in a second. First thing we do is check the door switch. Alright, seems good. Now mind you, I haven't plugged any of these in. We do that last, surprisingly. For some reason I always look at I don't know, I always look at this thing. So if it's a blanket in there, I kind of automatically know what's wrong. If it's thick as a blanket, excuse me. And this particular type of Whirlpool with that short back here, compared to like that one was longer and the short back, there's a couple of things I do different to get the air ducts out of them, but we're going to get the air ducts out. Now this old rust bucket here is actually salvageable, believe it or not. Because what I'm going to do is, I'm not even going to paint it. I've got lids, so I'm going to take this lid off, and probably the front door. That's our mascot there. One of them, 2 of them. The other one. Take that front door off and the lid off. It'll look like a whole new machine. These are manas. Usually, now as we go through and test these things, you'll see the manas typically is the timer. I've got like 2 videos, I think, on how to fix the timer on these things. Usually the contacts has arcing burns on them, arcing soot, carbon buildup, and prevents them from having continuity, and that keeps them from heating. So automatically when I see these amount of dryers or Roper, that style with the round head right there, I automatically clean the contacts on the timers, because even if it's getting hot, I still do it, man, because I've delivered some that got hot at the shop, and so you deliver it, that's when the ones act up. So it was that. So this is another Whirlpool. Actually, this is exact match with the short back there. And actually, one of the pains of these things is really just cleaning them, so that kind of slows me down. So, see, this one seems okay. Yeah, I think that's gonna take a look at that. And also, the felt is missing. I forgot to check the switch on this one. These are usually, yeah, it's already solid. Check your switches. So this is the first step, guys. Yep, see, this one's broke. See that? That's broke. So that's gonna need a switch. Well, the whole door's coming off anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yep, see, so that one won't even turn on. So you already know that one is a door switch, but don't stop there. Don't think like, oh, okay, that's all I need. You still check everything. See, this one, oh, we got oven stuff inside. Let's see. Oh, you're broke too. So that one's broke. Sometimes they're broken in the on position, which it looks like, so it might still turn on. But we still need to replace that. So we got, check your door switch. Alright, he's good. This one looks like it was painted and repainted. We gotta sand that down or just swap it out if I have another top. And allow them to scratch this. Spray paint will fix this one. Another Amana lid switch. Somebody already tried to work on it. The door's hanging off. And door switch is good. Alright, so let's get started taking them apart. So what I'm gonna do is start on this row here and just tip the machines forward on top of each other. I do this because I like to save my knees and my back, because we want to access that back panel. And so instead of hunching over, just lean them forward. And I do this when I repair them too. Just lean them forward. Excuse the camera work. So let's get a wider angle here. So they're leaning forward. So we're gonna knock those out. So I'm gonna prop the camera up. So I'm gonna do a quick pause. All right, got the camera set up now, and I'm gonna take them apart in bulk. Oh, you also need your voltmeter. I forgot to mention that on my tools list. That's the most important. Voltmeter. Let's go. Alright, so it screws out. Now we release the air duct by pulling out the panel. Taking the screws off. Clean. Next. got power drills, right? Hey! Oh, no problem. Yeah, I got your back. I got your back. Alright, so show you what I did. So you take the air ducts off because they need to be cleaned every time. As you can see, that one's pretty clean. That one pretty clean too. That part's a little bad. Look like they dried a rug or something, man. That's usually remnants of a rug. The rubber backing flaking up. You're not supposed to put rugs in washers and dryers. Yeah, that one, there's some debris right there. The vacuum, this one is dirty. So nothing indicates any issues. And you see that hole right there? That's so you reach your hand in there and grab the change. So I didn't hear any change in anything that I moved it. So it's like if I change or money. And with my Phillips head, I took the air duct off right here. See? So that's what I did the Phillips head to get that piece off. So next we're going to test everything with our voltmeter. Oops, sorry. Our voltmeter. So show you what I'm doing. I'm going to put the camera down. First thing I'm going to do is test the heating element. This one looks brand new. Test the heating element. Test it. So we put the voltmeter on this here and also here. Let's see if we get continuity. You get that beep, and then we're going to put one here, one probe here, another probe onto the body of the element here to see if it's grounding out. Then from there, we're going to test the high limit fuse. So this one blows out if this one doesn't act right. So basically, this controls the heat, turns the heat element off and on to control temperature. If for some reason this fails and it doesn't turn off the element at a certain temperature, this one triggers at a higher temperature to prevent a fire. So yeah, you don't want to just replace that ever because that means something else happened. This is your high limit fuse. This is usually if there's an air duct. This is where the air blows out. So if there's an air duct issue, it's pinched between a wall, and it's not blowing the hot air out, and it overheats, this will be triggered, and that will prevent the dryer from coming on altogether. So that's what we're going to do for all three of these right now. Usually you can do 6, but I'm trying to film with the proper instructions. So let's see if I should set it, guys. There you go. Let's get to work. Okay, so let's see. Show you what I discovered. So also, if you test your voltmeter from here to the body, you should not get a beep. If you do get a beep, it's bad. Everything else you should get a beep on. So with this one, first thing I already noticed, this is the wrong fuse. That should be this. So this is actually a it's not a thermal cutoff. It actually is a thermostat that should go down here to control the heat. So what's probably happening, it will just turn off the dryer. Like once this is triggered, this turns everything off. Well, it turns off the heat, so I guess it should still work maybe in theory, but you don't want it's just not right. So that is, I noticed this wire was loose too. Orange wire. So that definitely needs some power to it. So that, and then this one is an Amana. So I need to take this panel off because we treat them a little special because we know they have bad timers. I'll set you guys down. I'll let you know the results of my findings. To excuse my sniffling, it's like 40 degrees here, and I'm just getting over a cold, so that's probably a little noise. Actually, another tip, number one, always make sure your meter's on. First of all, that wasn't no continuity. So anytime you see this timer in particular, all of them like this, just this, not something that's close, this timer. So it's on the Amana that looks like that. This timer, you put your voltmeter, you test for continuity. Zoom in here. Put one probe here, another probe on the second one or the third one, and make sure the timer is on a heat setting, not off, and you should get continuity. You should go beep. If you're not getting continuity, then you need to take the timer apart and sand the contacts, or just use a file or something to take off some of the carbon buildup. I've got a video on that, so you check that out. But always it's always on this type of timers, so no mistaking it. So and the symptom is no heat. So if you're getting no heat, and then you've checked all of these, it's even if I go on a call and somebody says it's not heating, usually you check this stuff first, the element, the fuses. But on that style, it's that all the time. So I'm gonna pause the video and get to work here. So basically on this one, so I didn't find any issues on these machines. Some of them do need door switches. This one has an issue. I'm gonna change out that fuse. Other than that, all the elements are good. vents just need a good cleaning. You gotta change some door switches, and I'll start the video on these next 3. So you can, maybe one of those will have a problem. But the next thing though, I mean, it doesn't mean that nothing's wrong, because the next thing I'll do is, after I clean the vents, put it all back together, I'm gonna plug it in, set it on 50, and make sure this timer moves. So if the timer doesn't move after, like, 10-20 minutes, it's still on 50, then it has a bad timer motor. And a timer motor is this here. All right, so if it doesn't move to the next, this is the issue. If you're getting heat now, if you're getting heat and the dryer timer doesn't move, it's because of timer motor. Now I emphasize that because if you're getting heat and if you're not getting heat, then it's because, and the timer motor is not moving, it's because of the element or something's not getting hot. Now on time dry, no matter if it's heat coming out the dryer or not, this should always move. But if you get a customer that says, hey, my dryer runs all night and it's not getting hot and it runs all night, that's not like a heating element and the timer issue. It's because this is a scent dry. So if there's no heat going into the dryer and the clothes are wet, it's going to keep running until they're dry. So if there's no heat going in there, then the dryer has no reason to stop. So let's keep that in mind. You have a customer call you, say, hey, my dryer's not getting hot and it runs forever, it runs for hours. Just as soon as you fix it, that'll relieve that issue. So I'll see you in a sec. All right, so we got them together now. And this was the one with the weird fuse. This one. So I changed that out. And the problem was the thermostat, which was this. And how we test that is, first you do a continuity test with your voltmeter. You get a beep. Then you put a fire on it, listen for a click, put a continuity test on again, you should hear nothing. On this one, I heard it was beeping, so actually I'll do an example. Alright, let's say test your probes out. My probes are so worn out, I'm down on the wire, so but it still works. So continuity. Put fire to it. This is the element, this is the fuse that's right on the element. Cold out here. As you tell, we're losing a little daylight. Alright, of course, Murphy's Law. This thing's brand new, man, so I shouldn't be running out. Still wind or size. Murphy's Law, that's what it is. Worked a minute ago. Alright, so we're gonna skip that. That's an epic fail. But anyway, you put the heater, you put the lighter on it, and you hear it click, you hear a ping sound on the inside. It should happen within at least the first 30 seconds. You put your probes back on there, you can hear nothing. That means it is working the way it's supposed to. That means it's basically turned off the heating element at a certain temperature. And then if you wait, you hear it click again. and you put your probes on it, and you'll have continuity, which means it's cooled off. That's with the. Anyway, all right. So that was a waste of my. Can I get that 30 seconds of my life back? So let's go back. So all right. So the machines are all put together now. The 3. I'm just gonna limit to the 3. I think I can teach you. I can teach you the 3 instead of doing all 6. This one, right here, we're zooming on. Alright, here we go. It was like that. So, look, the belt's off. So, I'm going to check the roller. Probably got a bad roller. Again, those Amanas, ropers, also have bad rollers. Yeah, boom, 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 real bad. Let's see. Assuming that's the issue here. Plug these in. Nothing for what it usually does. This fell's probably bent now. Alright, the rolls are fine, but usually on this style, where are you? Right there, of dryer, this roller right here almost always goes bad. This one's good though, but usually you'll see that I'll just shred it and tore up. You just, replace that if you get a loud thumping. And this one's fine, so I'll put it together. Alright, so we're losing daylight, so we're going to wrap this video up. These 3 are pretty much ready to go. I'm about to plug them in, give them a heat test. Everything should be fine. Most times it is. If not, then if you hear like a sound or something like that, then it's just a bad motor. Pretty much that's the only thing that can go wrong. That or a timer, like I said earlier, the timer motor. But hey, any questions? Reach out. This is Reggie with A-Team Appliance. This is the videos for you do-it-yourselfers, guys just starting out, working right out of the yard, man. Actually, let me show you guys my hookups. So actually I have a shed in the back I work out of, but this is the garage, this is the front yard, and I got electrician friend of mine hook up 240 lines there. So that's your 4-prong, and that's your 3-prong. And I put a jumper box right here, so in case that's why I don't really work on them before I plug them in, because one of them have a burned out wire and they'll spark on you. So there's a box right there, so I have to dig through the back and get the jumper box. And so these are my next 3 I'm going to knock out once I turn the camera off. Then I'm going to wipe them down and have them ready for sale. And if you have any questions, I got some lid switches, some door switches I got to replace, but that's easy. But this message is for guys getting started. So I assume you guys already know how to take the cabinet stuff off and all that. But any questions, let me know. This is Reggie, A-Team Appliance.